more traditional, classical. But I always wanted to try. I had an idea to try some things like that with still life, and so this is what I put together for this show. And I'm glad to be a part of this show. Uh, Glad to be here tonight with Ali, who's going to play the flute while I do some poetry, a poem or two in this chapel of Seminole artwork. You know, it's where you come to feel good. Nothing can touch you here. This is Seminole art, Seminole tribal art. So with that, I'm going to read native poems. It's from my book, my poetry book called Nightfall, and it was published 2006. And they saw some of my work and writing in the Seminole Tribune, so they asked me if I wanted to have some a little collection published. University of Arkansas. So that's what we sent poems back and forth, back and forth. It was hard whittling down like 50 poems to 15 poems. So that's what we have here. This first one will be called Native Poems. And I'm taking off my glasses for this. I had a poetry instructor who was really big on imagery. So that's what this poem was, a lot of imagery. Begins with imagery and ends with imagery. Native poems. Silver words, lightning-like, strike across the night sky. I'm a celestial writer, riding the orange tail of a shooting star glittering gold. I'm writing native poems. I smile from behind dark clouds, allied with the long night of sorrow. Still, azure teardrops, purple amethyst flowers, and blue topaz feelings commune with a yellow moon. Not quite getting a word in edgewise, in the deepest blue oceans adrift. But I'll invoke the forces of tomorrow, turquoise poetry to come and bathe my silvery night, cross the borders with ancient formations in the hottest battles of the glowing dawn. I'll recite sacred poetry for the wings of the air. I'll savor so the hottest battles of the glowing dawn, dedicated to 1,000 burning suns. And dear Mother Earth visions recall Indian summers long ago. I'll pour sparrows' lonely teardrops through a pen and weep as words take flight. Silver words, lightning like, strike across the night sky. Thank you. That's the first poem in the book. I'll try another one. I have one about the Seminole Wars. It's called The Unconquered, 1842. And as I was thinking about the poem, and I wanted to write it in a voice of maybe a Seminole warrior who had the war back then, back 1855 to 1842. So this is called The Unconquered, 1842, after the war was just ending. They seek to banish us from the land we love, yet I'll reach the Everglades by morning. They've chased us from the Withlacoochee River to the Fort King Road, then to the Okeechobee, place of Wildcats battle. I haven't seen my wife and children in so long. A few of us went to the Lafayette River with Tuskegee and Tuscania to fight the treacherous general. Yet we withdrew to fight again another day. The watery green land, our ally, always moving south. Low on powder and lead, hungry, cold, weary, pale, sickened by the long war. Yet I reach the Everglades by morning. Perhaps I'll find Abiaka there and the others. I haven't seen my wife and children in so long. Captured with Osceola under a white flag of truce. Thank you. Like I said, I'm glad to be a part of this show. Glad to be here with Ali. Thank you, Ali. Give it up for Ali. And come and see the show if you can. To be safe, come and see it, but be safe, And I'd like to thank you again.
So welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here at our first ever all digital exhibition opening. I'm Tara Chadwick, Curator of Exhibitions here at History Fort Lauderdale, and we're almost ready to begin the show this evening. Thank you so much to Elgin Jumper and Gordon Oliver Wareham for bringing us that beautiful warm-up, allowing us to do a little bit of testing of our system. This is a new system, this is a new platform, this is a new way of doing things, but we're really doing our best to keep everyone safe and still be able to move forward and celebrate the things that are important to us in a way that that is conducive to where we're at. So without any further ado, I'd like to go ahead and welcome a few of our featured artists who have taken the time to join us this evening. We're gonna do a really brief welcome, and then we're gonna go ahead and introduce you to a number more of the artists through a video, and then we'll be able to take some questions and answers at the very end. So if you have questions, feel free to pop them onto the chat box and we'll be able to take a look at them. So again, thank you so much for joining us, and I would like to welcome Dante Blais-Billie.
Hi, how are you all? And good evening and welcome. I'm Dante Blais-Billie. I serve as Princess for the Seminole Tribe of Florida under the title Miss Florida Seminole 2019-2021. On behalf of all of us here, we're really grateful to welcome you all to our first virtual opening. Though all of us cannot join to see the works in person together, it's really meaningful for us that our works can be hosted in History Fort Lauderdale. Seminole artists have been working alongside History Fort Lauderdale each year to showcase our perspectives as contemporary Indigenous people during Native American Heritage Month. As people with communities neighboring the city, it's really important to us that we remain visible and acknowledged in the mainstream cultural landscape, not just as a historic legacy, but as people who still steward the land, still share our culture. We lead our lives both as sovereign natives and as global citizens. The theme we've chosen this year has been a circle of unity. Though each of us have our own perspective, we wanted to recognize the paths laid out by our ancestors to create our lives' sacred circle, where the values and traditions of our people don't just exist in the past, present, or future, but exist alongside us through each part of our cycle of life. One of those paramount values that we wanted to bring to the forefront of this exhibit was the value of unity and how reclaiming traditions of solidarity and community will always be key to our resilience and sovereignty. We hope our works reveal to you what our Seminole identity means to each of us. And as we follow in the steps of our ancestors, we hope to continue to innovate our traditions through our art forms. So please enjoy the introduction of the rest of our artists, their works, and make sure to stay for our Q&A panel after the broadcast.
Thank you so much, Dante. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and bring up Corinne Zepeda. Corinne, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. My name is Corinne Zepeda. I'm a Florida Seminole artist, and I'm just really excited to be a part of this year's show. I was contacted by Tara. She asked me, hey, like, we're doing this show, and this is our theme, and I would really love to have you enter something. And I was like, sign me up. Everything about this screamed everything that I embody, a circle of unity and everybody coming together as one. And as Dante said, you know, the cycles that we go through in life. So I'm just really excited to be here.
Thank you so much, Corinne.
Thank you.
I'm gonna keep you on screen, and
Okay.
you could, let's see, you could let me know if you want me to take you off, but
You're good.
I'm gonna go ahead and introduce Tia next. Tia, are you ready?
Yep. Hi.
Ready now.
My name is Tia. Dante's actually my sister, so this is a really fun and exciting show for me to do. I was in it last year as well, and it was just a really special experience. And like Dante touched upon in our theme, Circle of Unity, I do believe that we exist alongside all our ancestors and future relatives, but I'm so grateful that I get to share this current time with these artists, and I'm honored to once again be able to share my work alongside them. So Shnabasha to you, Tara, and to everybody participating. And yeah, I hope you really enjoy the show, and you feel the sense of unity that we're all putting into our work and trying to capture.
Thank you so much, Tia. Okay, so now I would like to, Tia, do you want to stay on screen for a minute?
Yeah, no problem.
I'd like to introduce Areta Tiger. Are you ready, Areta? There you go, ready or not.
I'm Areta Tiger. Can you hear me?
Awesome. Yes, you sound really great.
Okay. Hi, it's good to be here. This is my first time joining this exhibit. I'm very honored to be part of it with so many great artists and unity. That's a perfect theme because it's what we need during these times. And I think everybody's really come together, and you know, within the tribe and just globally, natives have come together. And I'm excuse me, I'm glad that we can all show our works and exhibit our talents and also speak through our artworks. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Areta. I'm gonna go ahead and mute you for a moment. You can unmute yourself if you have any comments. We have one other artist that's here with us that's, I believe, ready to join in and say hello. Ali, are you ready? Let's see. He's on a hot spot from the other part of the museum. So, oh, and I have the hot spot. So he's definitely not ready. Okay. Let's see. We'll try. See what happens. Yeah, I have to bring him in here. He's coming. In a moment, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and we'll go ahead and run the video, but let me let Ali say a few words to you first.
Giandamo people, hello my people. Hello everybody out there in cyber world. Hey! Well, first of all, happy Thanksgiving. I know it's probably next week. And happy American Indian Indigenous Month, Heritage Month. And I think this is a great opportunity for us artists, Seminole artists, Indigenous artists to show off our work and to also show the world that we are here. This is our voice, and better listen up. There are some great artists here, and I hope that a lot of people can come over and I guess following the conditions, but to check out this exhibit. So send it back to you.
Thank you, Ollie, and thank you to everyone. I'm going to try to set up Ollie's own hotspot back in the other room in a minute. But one other person I wanted to mention who's watching along with us, we have Donna Frank is watching, and I just want to take a moment to say thank you, Donna, for your encouragement, for your comments on the thread, on the live stream, and also for at the last minute agreeing to be part of the show. You know, the theme for this year is Circle of Unity, and the reason why one of the reasons why the artist chose that title and that theme is, as Dante was mentioning, you know, in this time and in this day and age, you know, the idea of, you know, it makes us remember, you know, that this is not the first time that we've been through a pandemic, a series of epidemics here on this land and this continent. And so, you know, watching and continually working towards that, that future where there is justice and there is health and there is equity for all of the people that live here, that is part of that circle of unity. And Donna, you're lending us of your beautiful sweetgrass baskets is just such an important symbol for the exhibition, but also for the time, you know, the resilience, the sustainability, and the togetherness that we're trying to weave here in our community. So thank you so much for everything that you do. So at this time, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can figure out how to screen share the video we have ready for you. Let's see. I have to remember to hit the sound, share audio, there we go. And then I gotta find the right page to share. I think it's this one. I hope it's this one.
Hello and welcome to the 2020 History Fort Lauderdale Circle of Unity exhibition opening. My name is Tara Chadwick and I'm the curator of exhibitions here at History Fort Lauderdale. And I would like to thank all of you for joining us today. We have this beautiful exhibition opening just in time for Native American Heritage Month. And so we have a number of the participating artists with us today. And I would like to turn it over to Dante Blais-Billie to continue the introduction. And I'll go ahead and mute myself. Hello everybody, I'm Dante or Dante Blais-Billie. It's so exciting to have you all here today. You know, we've been gathering Seminole artists, and each year we get more and more, you know, we expand the generations and expand the mediums. So we're really excited to go further into the show with you guys. But for now, we'll continue the introductions, and I'll pass it on to Ollie.
Hello, my name is Gordon Oliver Wareham. I'm the Oliver Board representative, and air conditioner just turned on. Welcome to our show. Like I said before, you know, the show has grown. Artists, Seminole artists, Miccosukee artists, and it's an honor for us to do this and to showcase our art.
So you guys could just hop in, just go ahead and unmute yourself if you're ready to just say hello, and then once everyone has a chance to, you know, say hello, then we'll go ahead and watch a video that talks a little bit about the art that's going to be on display.
I'll go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Dante Blais-Billie. I'm actually Dante's sister, but yeah, I'm a visual artist. I work in a wide range of mediums, and I really like to explore themes of culture and gender expression and identity, and I usually like to look in through character-driven narratives.
I'll go next. Hi, my name is Irota Tiger, and I'm a photographer, and I'm really excited to be here. It's my first year. Thank you for inviting me, and I can't wait to see all the works that have been submitted. It's really exciting. And Erica, your turn.
Hello, my name is Erica Deeks. Maiden name's North. My mother is Joe Motlow North, and I've resided on the Hollywood Indian Reservation for most of my life. I'm Panther Clan, and I've learned a lot of my art from my mom, and also whatever classes I took. And I work in a wide range of mediums. I've worked in watercolor, acrylic, mixed media. Starting to get into the whole computer art and
hello and welcome.
Writing and then some photography. But I really enjoy, I guess you would say, capturing our traditions and art, because I feel like it's we're stockpiling the history for future our future youth, so they can look back and see how the Seminole tribe did certain things, or whether it's through culture or traditions. And so I'll turn that over to Ruby, my daughter.
My name is Ruby Deeks. I do different types of media. So I try to
Okay, so I just wanted to, what I've been doing the last 5 minutes is trying to troubleshoot why the screen share is not capturing our video. So I just wanted to pause it for a second, and I'm gonna try to see if I can restart the screen share from the point at which you guys were all listening to the audio. You were hearing all of the amazing introductions, but I'm gonna just try it one more time and see if it was just a glitch in the system, because it is it's a YouTube, so it should go through. I'm gonna try that again, and then if not, we'll just go back to some discussions. Okay, so let me try this one more time.
Everyone has a chance to say hello, then we'll go ahead and watch a video that talks a little bit about the art that's going to be on.
I'll go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Dante Blais-Billie. I'm actually Dante's sister, but yeah, I'm a visual artist. I work in a wide range of mediums, and I really like to explore themes of culture and gender expression and identity, and I usually like to work in through character-driven narratives.
I'll go next. Hi, my name is Irota Tiger, and I'm a photographer, and I'm really excited to be here. It's my first year. Thank you for inviting me, and I can't wait to see all the works that have been submitted. It's really exciting. And Erica, your turn.
Hello, my name is Erica Dietz. Maiden name's North. My mother is Joe Motlow North, and I've resided on the Hollywood Indian Reservation for most of my life. I'm Panther Clan, and I've learned a lot of my art through my mom, and also whatever classes I took. And I work in a wide range of mediums. I've worked in watercolor, acrylic, mixed media, starting to get into the whole computer art and writing, and then some photography. But I really enjoy, I guess you would say, capturing our traditions and art, because I feel like it's we're stockpiling the history for future our future youth, so they can look back and see how the Seminole tribe did certain things, or whether it's through culture or traditions. And so I'll turn that over to Ruby, my daughter.
My name is Ruby Dietz. I do different types of mediums. I try to dip my toes in all types. My favorite would be watercolor, which is something I do most of the time. It's relaxing. And I sometimes do digital art, which is my mom, what she's trying to get into. And I learned most of my art through my mom and grandma, and here and there from school. So, yeah.
Oh, and I just wanted to add that I think it's really great as far as I guess the websites, or using Google or YouTube. There are a lot of artists out there that show you how to do different techniques. So I think that's pretty cool too, especially during the pandemic. You can learn a lot on the internet. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, I'll go next. My name is Daniel Tommy. I'm from Big Cypress, and it's a privilege to be amongst all of you artists, because for me, I just started carving like 3 years ago, and I carved, and I don't know if I would consider myself an artist, because I carve canoes out of passion and love and connection with our past. And it was not only a transportation for our families from going island to island, or taking hides and furs to go trade. But what I really, because I do reenactments, and what really got my attention was that how the canoes were utilized as an instrument to get out of the war zone that was created. If you know about Battle of Okeechobee, you know what I'm talking about, where they led them into a certain area, and they were ambushed, and then they got into canoes and went on. So things like that really gets my attention, and my oneness and connectedness with our past. So that's why I do it, and I'm still learning, man, because they tell me that I have to start really small. But crazy me, I'm thinking, I don't want to start on small one. I want to start a 30-footer like we see. And now I'm starting to get a little glimpse of why they tell us that, because I'm learning that, when to cut, how much to cut. And so there's a lot of geometry, a lot of calculations, a lot of visual, a lot of questioning of our elders, watching some of the paintings. And so, yeah, awesome. I'm glad you guys here, and to be amongst you guys is, like I said, it's an honor to be with you guys. Thank you.
Hi. Am I on? Testing 1, 2, 3. Hi, my name is Samuel Tommy. I'm an artist who works with two-dimensional and three-dimensional arts. And I also work with music and film productions. I'm also known for activism work. I work with different medias that represents the Everglades and a way of life that have existed out in the Everglades. And I'm very happy and I'm very glad that everyone can join us. Thank you very much.
Who's left? Don't forget to unmute yourself.
Hi, I'm Victoria, and I do digital art, though I still do different mediums and art like painting and drawing traditionally. And I'm happy to be here, and I never thought like my art would mostly get noticed or whatever, or something. I kind of got into doing art from my brother when I was young, and like I never got serious into it. Like my mom brought it up onto doing a business, and that's when I kind of got serious in doing digital art. That's what I mostly do, and yeah, that's about it.
But right now, I'll just go. So art is something that is not only vital to the prosperity of our people during this pandemic, but has been a key to our survival since colonial contact. And unity to our artists represents unity to the sacred circle of our life, connecting to our land, to our community, to each other, and really importantly, now more than ever, solidarity with those around us. And that's something that not only in the face of a global pandemic, we want to encourage people, but during the Black Lives Matter movement and during, Native American Heritage Month, we want to encourage people to start relationships with those around them that have meaningful roots and meaningful continuations. So unity for us is a circle that we hope to carry on in the traditions of our ancestors, and we hope to inspire you all to carry on with our art. By bringing our art into Art Basel or bringing attention from Art Basel to our art, I think we're hoping to achieve just showing that our contemporary artists and our contemporary art is a reflection of our society and our culture, and that it's modern and thriving, and that we're not primitive or stuck in the past or belated, that we have our own interventions and that we have our own, progressions through art in our own unique way.
Specifically for this show, because it's Seminole, yes, my Seminole influences, I guess, I don't want to say it's like an influence, it was an upbringing, it's my lifestyle. So it's like a part of my roots, my DNA. I mean, I grew up, sounds weird, like hunted and gathered. I remember going out fishing, my dad cleaning the deers right in the front yard.
Art Basel has always been a really big thing that has put South Florida on the map in terms of international art and being just a big influence on that market. So I think it's really important that we as the Seminole people who are native to these lands to have our own facet and voice and representation within it.
For me, it's always important to be in the here and the now, the right then, and that when I'm painting, it's like there's nothing else. It's like I could at the same time laugh and cry at the same time. It's almost like that, It's so deeply felt, and I want it to be like that.
We make it alive. And to tell that to the world that we're here, we're still here, even after 300 years, 400 years, 500 years of genocide, we're still here, we're still fighting, and we want to express ourselves. And the best way to do it is through art.
Art, for me, that's something that keeps me grounded. It keeps me happy.
My first picture I did, I think it was about 30 years ago. And it was acrylic, it was a warrior, and from there I kept trying to repeat that process of just doing warriors, Seminole warriors and stuff like that.
The thing I like to work with is different medias, mixed media, pen and ink, color pencil. Like I work with wire. I do metal work. I weld. I do woodwork. So I do like a different types of work.
So ever since I was 3, I was always just either like gluing rocks and sticks together. I was always trying to create things and sculptural things. So I guess I just continued to build on that. When I went to college, I was a history major, but then I realized that I liked the world through objects, and so I switched my major to become an artist and started, I guess, formally training techniques and art.
I did always want to be an artist. I grew up with my grandmother on my mother's side. She's an oil painter, so that was my first exposure to art, but it was always just something I enjoyed. I really enjoy comics and animation and film, so it kind of all fit together through sequential art.
One thing I don't do is paint. That's Jimmy and Elgin's job. No. But, hopefully someday I can learn, they'll teach me. And
the most successful series of paintings that I've done is the main one is called The Colorful Warrior. And I've been painting that in a series for about 10 years now. There's about maybe 20 different versions of The Colorful Warrior.
My paintings and my what people call activism is about the Everglades. That's my life. That's where I was born, and
I've been doing photography since I was a kid. My mom put a camera in my hand and says, "Here's a roll. Go. This is your roll. Go take pictures." And from that moment, I love photography. So as long as I knew I had a camera in my hand.
I think that we want to bring Seminole art and a Seminole perspective to show that we're not just outsiders in art, that we're participating in the global society and that we're participating in modern movements in art and where actually our perspectives matter and are relevant. So I think that's really important to bring our perspectives into the contemporary art scene on the level of Art Basel.
I'm thankful that we have this platform to be able, that Tara has built for us to be able to be in this community of the international art that Art Basel, puts out, the amount of collectors and people coming in from all over the world to see. So yeah, this is important, and I'm appreciative of it.
Florida is like a melting pot for so many different cultures, but there's one that's been here all this time, and they show all their cultures, but they don't hardly recognize ours. And we've been here all this time. So it's kind of important for us to kind of step up and have some of these shows so we can showcase the world, basically, that we're still here and alive and surviving still.
I like doing educational events and public events, not because it's quicker to work, because actually it's much slower working in public, but really just to educate the general public about Seminole people. And there's the other side that, when people do know about Native Americans, a lot of times they think of us in historic context. They think of us as only existing in the past, or that all our culture and history only existed in the past, that, we used to speak our language and all that, don't realize that we are still here. We still practice, our traditional religion, but we're still speaking our language, and we're adding words to the language because of, new things that come into the world and into technology, and that transfers over to our art as well. So our art has evolved, over the generations from prehistoric times up through today, because we don't live in a bubble, and our culture didn't end at 1491. It's continued to develop and flourish past that.
It's really important for us and for this exhibit that we're trying to reach out and get more Seminole voices. We're really looking for participation even from younger people. So that's a really big focus for us now, and we hope in later years to have more participation from the younger people, because while it is a value in our culture to have elders at the forefront, that's something that we want to keep. But we also don't want younger people to feel intimidated that they can't participate, because we're a very supportive community, especially in this exhibit.
So thank you to SMP for bringing us that beautiful updated video. That creating that video really was through the push of Elgin, because he's always working to encourage us to document the process. You know, like for the last 5, 6, 7 years that we've been doing this, he always is encouraging us to, you know, to keep on and to, you know, reach out to more artists and keep on encouraging each other. And I think it's really important, especially in this time where we're all trying to adapt to so many new systems and everything. And so thank you guys for all being here, and thank you to SM, Elgin and Jimmy, really for leading the way and you know, creating a pathway for us to be able to follow, you know, using digital technology, you know, Renaissance era technology, as well as, you know, the technologies and the values that we've had since, you know, since the beginning of time. So there's we have a few more minutes left, and there's a few of you guys that who didn't get a chance to talk too much about your work. So if, you know, or if anyone has any additional comments or reflections after watching the video, or if you want to, you know, describe the work that's on display here, you know, you're welcome to do that. Just unmute your mic and just go ahead and make any comments or reflections that you might have.
I can do a really simple land acknowledgement really fast. So this will be a simple land acknowledgement. You know, it's going to be here, our exhibit here in our homelands of Florida. So on behalf of all the artists here, we'd just like to give thanks to our ancestors for stewarding the land, and give thanks to the land for giving our people knowledge, prosperity, and life itself. And this is also an acknowledgement for the youth here. Thank you to our elders for passing on the knowledge, for allowing us all to advocate for our culture. Shanabe Shat, Mido.
Available in the 2 primary temporary exhibition spaces here at History Fort Lauderdale. And so I am going to show you a little bit of the work, and then encourage you to come down and see us in person. I am supposed to be wearing my mask at all times in here, but right now the museum is closed. So we're open from 10 till 4 every day, and masks are required at all times inside the museum. You'll also need to get your temperature taken at the door, and then we have lots of hand sanitizer available throughout the building as well. So the exhibition will be up now through January 12th. And so the next event that we'll have after this opening, this digital opening, will be a collaboration with the Broward County Library for the Big Read program, which is going to happen on January 16th. So we'll definitely make that link available as soon as it's published on our website and our social media pages as well. And so, all right, so I'll go ahead and take you on a little tour and enjoy.
This is another artist that brought some beautiful painted rocks that she kind of placed inconspicuously as healing public art within the History Fort Lauderdale campus. Thank you for that. Unmute yourself, Daniel, for a second.
Okay, you want to say something? Say thank you.
Thank you.
Shanabish.
I did the rocks with my mom.
Mom helped you?
Mhm. I made a unicorn and I couldn't make the tattoo when I was little. Then she teach me how to make a star. Now I know.
Well, you're learning. That's the way. You got to look. You got to listen. That's how you learn.
You want to go outside, buddy? Huh? You want to go outside?
Yeah, she took off.
That's awesome.
She's learning.
Thank you. Yep, we're all definitely learning right now. That's awesome. Learning from her too. Just a humble artist, public artist, the youngest public artist.
Bye. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
So thank you for watching our video. We hope that you enjoyed it. Next, I am going to reintroduce my co-curator on this event, Dante Blais-Billie, and she's going to present some questions to the group.
Remember, you guys can add your own questions in either the Facebook comments or the YouTube comments, and we'll be sitting here for a while longer to answer all of those, questions about either Seminole culture, our own artists' backgrounds, what their work means to them, or any sort of question you might have. So I'll just start off with my own questions at first. Why do you guys think it's important to have a space to show contemporary art by Indigenous South Floridian artists here in South Florida? And that's open to each of you, and I can call out your names if you are shy.
Okay. I guess I'll start off, but I think it's really important because we are the Indigenous peoples of South Florida, which is something that surprisingly a lot of people in South Florida don't even know about us that much, or if they do, it's just the vaguest notion. Which I think is really sad and should be changed because we are part of the current community that is there. Even apart from the history of our connection with the land, which I think should always be honored and acknowledged. But yeah, even beyond that, we are currently existing in the community, contributing to just everything that everyone else in South Florida is. Yeah, so I think it's really important to value what we have to say as people living there, as people who have stewarded this land for generations, and yeah, just as artists who can contribute or a really interesting perspective that they might not think about or ever even know to acknowledge.
Yeah, I'm just bounce off what you said, but I completely agree. All too often, I think people forget that we've lived on this land for hundreds of years, and that we were the nurturers of this land. And then so giving contemporary art a chance, because I think sometimes people think that we're people of the past, that we still don't exist, or, that we're no longer here, or that we're people that are very rare and few to come by, but here we are, as a group of contemporary artists from this land. So I think it's pretty eye-opening for a lot of people who don't necessarily know too much about us, and I love that we all are getting the opportunity to educate people on what contemporary Native art looks like.
I'll go next. I guess because South Florida is a diverse community with many flavors of roots. Growing up, we've always been called the unseen people. And today, we have this big old thing called a hard rock and a big guitar to the sky. And people see that and they think, well, that's Seminole. And it's not Seminole. That's a brand, that's a company, but that doesn't represent who we are. So I think going out there and showing people who we are in the modern ways, that's who we are. So it's good.
Okay, if Iretta, can she come back? If not, we can return to this question when she's reintroduced to the group. But we do have an audience question for Corinne by Katie. What is your biggest influence as an artist, and how does pop culture play into your art?
So, my biggest influence as an artist is probably my family. A lot of you may or not know, my dad's Brian Zepeda, who's also a part of this exhibit. And I can remember, drawing on tables with my dad in like restaurants as a kid, and then that carrying over into me taking AP art as like a freshman in high school to, maxing out on art classes where I think I took more art classes than normal classes my senior year, which wasn't allowed, but they were like, sure, why not? She's good. We'll let her do it, slide it under the rug kind of thing. But my dad is definitely a huge influence on my art. I picked up beading, as some of you know, he's a fantastic beater. Like, I don't even know how he does it. Hopefully get to be as good as him one day. But besides that, family and culture, and then how has pop culture played into your art? Okay, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I have Baby Yoda over here. But a lot of my art is based around pop culture. I do everything from Halloween to, Star Wars to my earrings, which are pop culture play. So, I mean, if I could turn you around, I have pops on the wall. It's crazy. But I just love old 80s sci-fi and stuff like that. So a lot of my art, if you don't even think about it, you wouldn't even notice it. But some of it, you're like, oh, okay, I know where that comes from. So I try to incorporate pop culture into my art when I can.
I think that brings us into a good segue of my next question, which I'm sure, since I'm speaking amongst Seminoles, you all know almost every Seminole is an artist in one way or another. It's something that's really prevalent in our community, whether someone does it and they consider it a craft or someone does it as a fine art. And I want to ask you guys what your opinions are. Why do you think art continues to be such an important part of Seminole culture even today?
I think it's so interwoven into what our culture is that it's impossible to have one without the other. Like, the art is the culture, and then the art also serves and maintains and uplifts our culture, different ideologies about it. Even just the medicine colors and the balance of four directions and everything like that. It all plays into our visual languages and how we think about certain things. This might be going a little bit off the exact question, but for me personally, for example, when I was at art school, away from the tribe and everything, reconnecting with our traditional crafts and our traditional art and everything was a really healing and spiritual experience for me. Even just by I'm not the best at sewing, but even just doing my own shoddy patchwork, I was wow, I feel so connected again. And it's just I don't know, such a visceral and physical attachment to everything I feel inside as a Seminole person and just as an Indigenous person on Turtle Island. And I think that's also a really great connection to other people, other Indigenous peoples in Turtle Island. It's a great identifier and a great way to share those kind of feelings. I guess that's how I think about it.
Yeah, I'll just say that even looking at patchwork or beadwork or our traditional sweetgrass baskets, anything that we use or wear or do incorporates art. I mean, whether Dante said, whether it's considered a fine art or just a traditional art that we acknowledge as being art, I think everything that we wear or do or practice can be, funneled down into being art.
There you go. Well, kind of reflecting on the same words, patchwork and basketball weaving and all these stuff, their crafts, no, they were ways of survival. And we grew up with our arts as a way of survival. So it's part of us as being unconquered. These are the things we use to stay unconquered. It made us unique. So art in all forms are within our blood. It's the way we survived all these years.
So I was just waving because I saw Jackie. She finally joined us. So I was just trying to get her attention. I was like, oh, wait, I'm on screen too. So sorry about that. So if you're ready, Jackie, we're going to welcome you here. And let's
Good to see everyone.
mic.
Can you hear me?
Hi.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I was having a little trouble, but I got on.
It's great. I'm so glad you were able to join us. Dante was just asking some kind of overarching questions of everyone. And so I don't know if you want to pose one of those questions to Jackie, but Jackie, if you wanted to take a moment to introduce yourself, feel free to do so as well.
Okay, sure. Hello, my name is Jacqueline Osceola. I live on the Hollywood Reservation, Panther Clan. My art medium is different mediums. I love to draw. I do colored pencil artwork, watercolor, metal, wood, a lot of working with my hands. I don't paint though. Haven't painted yet, but that's on the list. So hope to get there soon with Elgin and Jimmy's help.
Okay, I can go ahead and direct the next question to Jackie so she gets a chance. What do you think makes this exhibit in this show different than other exhibits curated around South Florida? For example, Art Basel, which we all talk about as a big global show. What's so different about the exhibit we're all participating in now?
What's different is that it's unique to the other venues. We're unique in that we're all, native artists. I've only seen maybe a handful in Art Basel, and those are, really amazing works as well. But our group, we're all Native American, and we're saying something through our art, which is important. And I think it really should be, put out there. And as the theme is going, we're still here. And we have a voice, and we have issues. We have everything, that's going on today. We have a voice in all of that. And not many people know that, as, a few of us have already said. So I'm really proud to be part of this group and putting my artwork in there, and, having a, even if it's a small voice, we're putting our voices out there to say we are still here and we're surviving. We survived all these years through pandemics, through wars, trying to, kill us off, and it hasn't happened yet. So we have a strong survival sense in us, in all of us. So I'm very proud of all of the artists that have participated.
Okay, I'm going to quickly ask our last question, which I think is a very, very important question for each of you to answer in your own personal experience. How can non-Indigenous people and non-Indigenous communities support Indigenous artists?
Is that for everyone or?
I'll go first. I think acknowledgement to begin with, acknowledging your Indigenous artists among other artists. And then, supporting real Indigenous artwork. Far too often we see, artwork that's either labeled as Indigenous or, non-Indigenous artists stealing Indigenous design or Indigenous culture. So really just supporting your local natives, support your local Indigenous art, support, the person who makes cool earrings, the person who makes cool patchwork, or the girl who sells really cool paintings, or, the person who sells awesome sculptures, whatever it may be. Just acknowledging your Indigenous artists, I think, is huge.
I agree with that because it opens doors to, all the genres of art, like you said, beadwork, sculpture, and the clothing, even the t-shirts that, some of the artists make in a Indigenous theme, there's artwork all over, just, saying something that's important to us. So yeah, it does open, that door to more art, to more levels of art, I should say.
Yeah, and I think even outside of only like traditional Indigenous crafts, which again are really important to support directly like actual Indigenous creators and everything, I think even within mainstream media arts, it's really important to like listen to and elevate Indigenous voices when we're telling our own stories. And yeah, to just honor and respect how people choose to represent themselves or their own culture, which parts that they might want to keep more private. It's not up for anybody in the world to demand from them, which I think is just like important to understand about any culture really. But yeah, speaking specifically to Indigenous cultures, because in a lot of mainstream media, like in movies and even like animation and just TV shows and that kind of stuff, we're often like severely underrepresented, or when we are, it's usually just one type of idea of what people have of Indigenous people. So yeah, I think just to seek out an openness to like authenticity and supporting that and respecting it.
There you go. I'm fighting with the mute button. I think it was perfectly said earlier. But Indigenous art, don't steal it. Have that respect. This is not a craft. This is this is us. This is our way of life. So I think it's very important that this is a culture you're looking at. It's not just something you can just grab and say, hey, I'm going to duplicate, and it's whatever. So respect the artists and what they do.
Well, we're just about to our 7 p.m. end time. If any of you have any final comments, we'll go ahead and take a moment to do that. But before we do, I need to remember to say thank you to all of you that are on screen and all of the others who are watching who are part of this show. We have over 21 Seminole and Miccosukee artists represented in the show this year, which is really, really awesome. It really just shows the sense of community that you guys have come in, and the trust and the relationship building that you guys all are part of. Pushing me, and in turn me pushing History Fort Lauderdale to really take the exhibition of local Native American art seriously, which it's a battle, to look to be part of changing how artists and the art market looks at Indigenous art, instead of just as craft, as contemporary. And that really shows in the objects that are on display here right now at History Fort Lauderdale. We have very traditional contemporary art and very innovative contemporary art. Everything from metalwork to beadwork to pop art to Rembrandt style oil painting. It's all here, and we encourage each of you to definitely take a moment and come see it. We're open 10 to 4 daily, and the show will be on until the beginning of January. The 12th will be the day that we start to take it down. So thank you to History Fort Lauderdale, to all the members of History Fort Lauderdale who support the organization. Thank you to the board of directors who agreed to the exhibition schedule, to our executive director, of course, Patricia Zeiler, who works tirelessly to keep the lights on and the air conditioning on. And, even during the COVID pandemic, we were one of the first institutions to reopen. And so, we welcome you here. Thank you also to Broward Cultural Division, who helps in providing that operating funding for our institution. Also to the Department of State Division of Cultural Affairs, Culture Builds Florida. They also contribute to the operating of the organization. And thank you to Seminole Tribal Florida Inc. for your support also of this exhibition. So with that, if anyone has any final statements, this is the moment. And thank you.
One of our audience members would like to know if you guys want to share your social media handles so people can continue to follow your artwork, your journeys, if that's something you're comfortable with doing here. Now would be the time, just so people can keep up to date with what you're doing.
I have an Instagram. The handle might be a little hard to get without seeing it visually, but it's T Blais-Billie, which is TBLAISBILLIE. I'm a cartoonist and story artist, so you probably won't see anything similar to what I have in the show here, but yeah.
Yeah, you guys are also welcome to follow my art page on Instagram. Mine is Corinne Z.creations with a Z. So Corinne's Creations. And I post everything on there from sewing, beadwork. I haven't really posted any of my other mediums yet, but we'll get there eventually. It's a work in progress.
On Instagram, G_LIE. I have all my cosplayers on there. All the people I've shot over the years, and
Okay, so it looks like we have a wrap. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Thank you to each of the artists. Thank you to all of our viewers. This is my first time using this kind of platform, so I think the video will be available for you to view later. I'm not 100% sure, but hopefully it will. If not, thank you again for joining our first ever all digital exhibition opening, and thank you to Dante for co-hosting, and thank you to all of the artists. Thank you to Ali for your beautiful flute music, and come and see us. Where the artwork is here and it's beautiful, and thank you guys. Have a good night.